Hello friends, in this tutorial we are going to learn about the installation of WordPress using the LAMP server. So it is a four-step process in order to install the WordPress. For LAMP installation, we have to install the Linux AMI from the AWS Management Console, and then on this particular Linux, we will be installing the Apache server, PHP, and MySQL. Once this entire package is complete, only then we will be having the ability to install the WordPress on it. So let's start understanding in brief about the very first step, that how we can install the Linux instance from the AWS Management Console. So here I am into the EC2 dashboard in the AWS Management Console. So let me go to the home page. This is the AWS Management Console. Under the services, I can explore this EC2 instance, right? So once I reach here in this dashboard, now I have to launch an instance. So whenever I will start launching the instance, there are few steps I need to do. So first thing is, my requirement is about the virtual machine which is consisting of Linux. So here this Amazon Linux 2 AMI is, I think, well suited. It is also available to me in the free tier. So I'm going to select that. So I'm not going to make any changes into the instance type as well as into the configuration details. I'm not going to do anything. Same is the procedure with the storage also. For the time being, I will not talk about all these things. So here is the point about the security groups, right? So there is, by default, as we are installing the Linux, so SSH is available for us. But because we have to install the Apache server, PHP, and all such things, so I am going to build a rule here in which I will be adding the HTTP. Okay, so I'm not going to make any further changes into this rule. So just picking the HTTP and just going proceeding further, and that's all. I am about to launch my AMI now. My point here is that before launching the machine image, the important point here is that in the AWS Management Console, they will ask you for a key pair, because they want, for the security purposes, this happens. So I'm already having a key pair within my machine. So if you don't have, you can select for the create a new pair or a key pair, and you can choose the name of the key pair and download that onto your machine. Okay, so for the time being, I am going with the existing one only, and I'm acknowledging that I am having the access to this, right? So let's proceed with launching the instance. So instance is about to launch now. Let me go into the console and to check about how it is processing. So here I have to wait for this instance state to change from the pending to the running state. Okay. So for that time I will be waiting, and then I will proceed with the another process. Now my instance is running. So let's open this instance. So what I'm getting here is this public IPv4 DNS. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is going to have a remote access of this instance through my machine. So how I will do that? I will simply copy this public IPv4 DNS, and on my machine I have installed PuTTY. So I will directly open the PuTTY, and that particular IPv4, right, which I have copied from here. Okay, so within this host name, I am going to paste it. So what I will do after that? So in this SSH, I will go and I will click on this auth. Now what I have to do is, if you remember, while launching the instance, they asked us about using the key pair, right? So as I said, I was already having that. So I will be browsing that key pair. This new key is my key pair, and I'm going to open this. So if this kind of security alerts came, so it's okay. Yes, you can proceed with that. So now I am into my terminal, right? So this EC2 54154, So this is the same name which has been provided here to my instance public IPv4 DNS. So the very first step in order to go with this EC2 instance is that to log in here with EC2 hyphen user. This will remain same throughout. So my system is authenticating with the key which I have provided to them. And see, this is the Amazon Linux 2 AMI. So congratulations, we are done with the installation part of the Linux. Now what we have to do is we have to actually come into the root user mode. So for that the command is sudo su. Su is basically super user mode. So as soon as I run this command, see from this EC2 user, now my user is actually root. So I will be performing all the things under the root user mode. So installation of the Linux was the very first step. The next step in this category is to install the Apache server. So in order to install the Apache server, I have to use the command yum install httpd. This is the name of the command. I will be pressing the enter and it will start the installation process. In between, it will ask me for whether this size is okay. Then I will say yes. And my installation part is complete. See, this is complete status here. So it means my installation is done now. So once the installation is done, now I have to start the services. So in order to start this service, the command is service httpd start. Once I have started the service, it is saying that now it has simply redirected me to this starting the service. Okay, so let's check that whether this Apache server has been launched or not. You just have to copy this DNS, okay, and open it in the browser and paste it here in the browser and just press the enter key. See, once I pasted the URL here, I am going to get this test page of the Apache server. So our second job is also done. We are done with the installation of Apache server over my Linux instance. So after this, now we have to proceed with the third step. The third step, we will work upon installation of the PHP. So for installing the PHP, what I am going to use is, again, I will use the command yum install PHP and which PHP version? PHP MySQL. This is what is the name of the command. So as soon as I will press enter, so I am going to get the size. I am okay with this size. And see, my PHP has also been installed. Okay, the process is complete. Now, as the PHP has been installed on the Apache only, so I need now to restart my service. So in order to restart the service, Apache service, I will be using service httpd restart. This is the name of the command. So it is redirecting me to that particular restart of that service. As soon as it is redirecting me and completing this procedure, let's start. Now let's check whether this has been done or not. So now, as I am waiting for this command to restart my service, so I would like to let you know about the more things. Now, as we are installing the PHP, right? So if we have to install any of the website content here, or you are working as a website administrator, then each and every content can only be added into this particular directory where www.html. So this is the name of the directory. We have to switch to this directly, only then we can proceed with working on this PHP. So let's do that. It is still doing this. So let me come out of it and again use this particular command service httpd restart. Let's wait for a while. Now it has been redirected me. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, right now I am working in this directory ec2 user. So as I said, in the Apache server, some directory name has been, path has been given to us. I am simply copying that, and what I'm going to do is, now I am going to be into this directory. So cd, and then I will simply pressing the right click, and I will get the directory of html now. So now within this particular directory only, I am going to launch the new page. Okay, within the PHP, I am going to launch a test page in the PHP. So for that, I need a command vi, and I will provide any name to this PHP file. Okay, so let's suppose demo1.php is the name of the file. You can provide any name of your choice also to this particular file. So as soon as I click enter, you can see that now I am into this demo1.php, which is a new file, right? So right now I am not able to enter anything here or edit any changes into this. So for that, I need to press I key from my keyboard. So as soon as I press the I key, now the mode has been changed into the insert mode. So as I am into the insert mode, I can insert my data here. So my code here, you could say that. PHP info. So I just want an info page to be displayed here. This is what is the simplest code that I have written here. What we will do now is, as this is the only simplest code, so I will press the escape key, then colon, and I will type WQ to come out from this. Okay. So as I'm out from it, now let's check that whether this particular file has been updated on the server or not. So how I could check that? On this particular URL where I'm getting this page of Apache server, I just have to add here slash and the name of the file that I have created, demo1.php. Once I will click the enter, okay, see this is the same host name through which I was accessing the Apache server. I just added this demo1.php because my PHP was already installed. So in order to check that, I included the PHP information file. You can see that the entire information related to the PHP, each and every information associated with the PHP is been present on this particular page. So congratulations, we are done with the 3 steps. LAMP is Linux is installed, Apache server is installed, PHP is installed. Now we will proceed with the installation of the MySQL server. So in order to proceed with the MySQL server, I am having direct commands here. I will provide these commands within the description also. So just need to copy this command and paste it here. Right click and done. Okay. Same is the second command. Actually, what they are doing is, this HTTPS is the URL from where I am going to get this server installed. And then I will be trying to work on this to enable this service. And then from the yum repository, I'm going to get the server installed. Okay, so this is what is the entire procedure we need to perform. So this will take a little time for the installation. It will take approximately a minute or two, so that's why I am pausing the video. So I have resumed the video now because it took approximately 2 to 3 minutes for the installation of MySQL server. So as I'm getting this status here, that I have the installation part of MySQL server is completed now. So now what we will do is, we will start the service installation. Okay. So what we will do here is service MySQLD start. So we are about to start the service now. So it is redirecting me to that particular page. So let's wait for a while. So this redirection has been done. So the service of MySQL server has been installed successfully. Now the next procedure is to secure the database of this SQL, right? In order to secure the installation or of this database, so we will use a command mysql underscore secure underscore installation. This is the name of the command. So as soon as you will enter this command, it is asking you for a user root password. So students, if this password, right now we are not having any user passwords. So what we are going to do right now is we are going to create a temporary password. So in order to create a temporary password, there is a one command that we will use, that is the grep command, grep, grep, and in the inverted comma, we will write a temporary password we are going to get, and then we will provide the path where we need that. var slash log slash my sqld dot log. So this is the path. So what I'm going to get here is I got this as a password. Okay. So as I got this password, so what I need to do is I need to again write the same command, which was mysql underscore secure underscore installation. Okay, so now I will paste the same password here, and as soon as I enter the password, so it is simply saying it has denied using password. Yes. So let's write the password here again, because the password was not taken before. Secure underscore installation, and the password was this. Let me copy that password and paste it here. Hmm. So let me write it because it is denying. I don't know why. My SQL the password is actually 3D percentage 0 W Y K I 4B hyphen K. So this is actually a one-time password. As soon as you will proceed with this password by entering this password, now they are providing you a facility that the existing password for the user account root is has expired. So they are now providing us the facility to set a new password, because it was a temporary one. It was having only one time use. So here, in order to provide a new password, we have to work upon certain validations. The validations include, like, the length of the password should be minimum 8 characters long. Then it should be including a special character also. Your password should be having one capital letter also, and it must be using some numeric code also. So by using all these validations, I'm going to provide a password here, and again to re-enter the password, and then only I can work on the thing. So I need not to change the password, right? So now they are asking me about remote anonymous users. Yes, definitely I have to remove the anonymous users. Disallow root login remotely. Yes, definitely we want that. Remote data test base, remote test database and access to it. Okay, yes. Need not privilege table now. Okay, we can reload. So we are actually having the all done is done here. So we have successfully secured our password here. So we are completely done with the launch of the lamp server. Linux was done, then Apache, then PHP, and now we have compiled the task of installation of MySQL also. So now is the point when we have to install the WordPress. So in order to install the WordPress, first we will check whether we are still here in this HTML directory or not. If we are not, then we have to use the cd command and to get back into this directory. Okay. So now the point is, we are going to use a command wget httpd colon double slash wordpress .org slash latest dot tar dot gz. Okay, so this is the actually the place from where we are going to get this. So here I have written the httpd, it should be http only. Okay, so as soon as I have typed this, I have to press the enter. So the installation process is done. So now we have to use another command, tar hyphen xzbf, then this particular entire configuration. Okay, the name, the latest tar dot gz. So we have to write it here and press the enter key. So my WordPress installation has been successfully done. So congratulations, we are almost done. We are actually done with the installation part of the WordPress also. So what we are going to do now is we just be providing you a glimpse of how we can create the blog here. So for that, we will use a command mv WordPress blog. Now we will provide a configuration file. So we will, for that, we will first of all go to a directory with the name blog, and then only we will provide mv wp hyphen config hyphen sample.php. Then the another name is wp hyphen config.php. So these are the two files that we will create. Okay. Now the next is we are going to enter into this wp hyphen config.php. So vi command we know in order to open the file. So this is what exactly is the base configuration file for the WordPress. This wp config.php creation script uses this file during the installation. You don't have to use the website. You can copy this file to wconfig.php and fill the values. So this entire credentials or the configurations are associated within this WordPress package. So we are done with the installation of this WordPress. So thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, share and subscribe if you like this video. Thank you.